Hello, what we're going to do with this program called Inkscape is we're going to create a logo, something that you can create, group together, export as a PNG, and I'm going to walk you through some of the steps of what Inkscape is and what it's useful for with vector graphics. It's a concept that is very powerful in the industry for creating graphics that are expandable. So, hope you like it. To get started, what we want to try to do, for example, is just create an oval shape. So you grab the circle and you create an oval. And notice when you first lay it down, you can choose the arrow and you can scale it up and down, and you can squish it and scale it. I accidentally made an extra one, I can delete that. You can start with creating any kind of shape. Typing out your last initial. And of course making it very large font. And you could stretch it out to fit that shape, like so. And the magical magic here is if you take the M or your letter and you shift click the other object and you choose path difference, what it does is it really cuts into, it slices in there. So really there's a hole here now. And if I go to my nodes, I can then modify it to look different. In other words, create my own symbol, my own look, the way I want it. Experiment with other shapes. Oops. Experiment with other shapes. And experiment with different font. So I might try one of these. And experiment with making it larger than this object below. So if I want, I can shift click the two and I can do path difference. Experiment with the nodes. Come up with your own style. Obviously this is horrible, don't do that. Choose undo and see what you come up with. You know, undo and then replace it. Make it smaller, try it that way. Shift click, path difference. But definitely make it your own flavor, your own look. And then finish it off with the rest of your name. So the idea here is to create a new logo with your name and have your first initial be different. And I would certainly recommend making this the same color or similar color to that of the logo itself, so they're all the same color. Bring in some new objects. Bring in another line or two. And don't worry about the canvas, by the way. This canvas is really a guide. When you export, you're going to export everything as one. I'll explain that in a bit. Next, I want you to go to iconfinder.com and type in something that you would like to add to it. So an eye, for example, and make sure you choose free, right? And make sure it's free, and one color. So don't go for the two colors necessarily. Let's do one color. We want to kind of keep consistent with our style. So let's go with this one color object. And now see where it says download SVG. We're going to download that. And then in our project, we're going to open that file. My bad. We're going to import that file. So you go to import and then you find it. All right, and then you can bring it in and experiment with that. For example, I could reuse this circle idea. Oh, and to put one on top of the other, we're going to use these tools right here. In other words, we want the eyeball on top. Shift click the bottom one and do path difference. Experiment, try things out. There you have it. The idea is to create a logo with your name, with the letter in the middle being different, using the difference tool, two objects, pull something off an icon finder maybe, like in this case the eyeball or the apple, to create this cool logo. When you're done, you have 1, 2, 3 export tabs. You're going to go File, Export PNG, and you can choose the whole page, the drawing, that means anything that you've created, selection, meaning only the thing that you've selected, or you can do a custom area. What you're going to do is probably choose drawing, because you're not necessarily grouped. I don't know if you ungrouped everything or not, because you could group everything by right click and group. If you do drawing, everything will be exported. So let's do that. And where it says export as, you're going to choose a name for it. So I'll call it Murphy Logo and save it. Now that doesn't actually save it. You actually need to press export. You have to press this and it actually does the trick. If you don't hit the export, all you're doing here, export as, is you're changing what the file name is going to be. When you hit export, it actually exports. So what you're exporting here is a PNG file that you can put on your portfolio, you can put on Instagram, you can put on websites. It's a picture file. The actual project file, if you take a look up here on the left, it says .svg. That is the scalable vector graphic that you can send to the print shops, and they could extract it for t-shirts and banners and giant posters or billboards even, because it scales infinitely. Well, I hope you enjoyed this really quick tutorial that I threw together for you guys. I'm going to also do a demonstration in class, so hopefully you guys will have a good time with this.